Going by numbers of 2015, the Indo-African trade stands at $71.65 billion, making up to 10.6% of India's world trade. When Nnis spoke to both Indian and African dignitaries at the Indo-African Summit, they said that there are many more miles to cover, given that India and Africa shares a bond which is almost a century old. An Nnis exclusive. Prime Minister Modi's recent 4-day trip to Africa was a bid to expand Indo-African ties in key areas, trade and investment, and greater diplomatic cooperation. Africa over time has demanded investment, and projects have ballooned by 300% since 2009. The historic ties shared by the continent and India, experts say, provide ample opportunities for greater economic ties.
Well, you see, India's relationship with Africa is historical, and our relationship is way back century old, and still we have not developed the relations with Africa the way we were supposed to. As our External Affairs Secretary Sinha Saab also said, that India has to achieve as compared to the other nation, and we have to go ahead and do business with Africa, and we have to achieve our target for which we have left behind, because there are a lot of similarities between India and Africa. Our present trade is about $72 billion, and the government of India, our Prime Minister, has a dream to have double the trade, and all best possible efforts government of India is doing, and this is a small contribution to support the venture of government of India, and to take their initiative forward and promote India-Africa relationship in whatever manner we can.
The Indian community contributes substantially to economies comprising large portion of the medium and small enterprises. Most Indian-owned MSMEs in Africa operate in the manufacturing, textiles, chemical and food industry. While in terms of imports, India imported $38.8 billion or 8.7% of its total imports. There has been tremendous growth since 2008, when trade stood at $35 billion, and 1995 when it was $1 billion.
See, so far as the government of India is concerned, they are doing tremendous, they're doing excellent job, they're doing tremendous activities to promote Indo-African relationship. And so far as business economy is concerned, or business community is concerned, we are pushing them, encouraging, motivating. But the business has not picked up between India and Africa as compared to China or any other country. For the bottlenecks are certain challenges in Africa, certain challenges in India as well. And now there is equal feeling between both the continent and the business community, and now they feel that we have to remove all the barriers and whatever best possible we have to move, because government of India has given this time $104 billion line of credit, and our Prime Minister has recently been to 4 African countries, and this is a historical visit of any Prime Minister of India going to Africa. So that shows the encouragement from our government itself.
Indian investment in Africa, estimated over $50 billion, is larger than that of China's, but over 90% of that goes to one country, Mauritius, a popular tax haven for Indians. The Confederation of Indian Industry and Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, meanwhile, quite often organize trade conclaves that provide a platform for the corporate sectors of India and Africa.
Really, Indians are more advanced in capacity building. So to run or to exploit these untapped sources, we need Indian help, and that is the capacity building. We need professors, the education, we need trainers, we need always the high-tech program of India, the scholarships, all this, not only trading and investments. This itself, the investment without knowledge is nothing. So an agriculture, if we don't develop your agriculture, with the help of Indian experts. Cannot go to school, he cannot work, he cannot do anything. Agriculture is the most important for a human being. So, since India is highly developed in these sectors, we need their expertise.
India reportedly is the sole Asian member of the African Union's Capacity Building Foundation. The Indian and South African governments have signed MOUs on IT, communication, tourism, science and technology innovation and cultural cooperation. Africa, meanwhile, is serious about making things easier on the visa front and ease of doing business.
Missions have been commissioned to look for economic investment, and that's we have revised the way we do our businesses. These days, it's easier to get a visa to Africa, especially Ghana. You apply, and by second day you have a visa. And so we also, when you go back to Ghana, we have we have created some ease in doing business by way of registration, business requirements, and all those things. And we are very friendly people, and because of our security situation, business people from India are very safe in Africa, and especially in Ghana.